and welcome to the 9th event in the 2022 PGA EuroPro Tour schedule. We're over halfway through the season with players vying for that very precious top 5 spot. We're here at Slaley Hall. The venue for the 2021 Tour Championship presents itself with another opportunity in the QHotels Collection Championship. Well, it's the final round here at Slaley Hall, and the battle for a top 5 spot is intensifying. Well, Kit caught up with some of the leading contenders in the race for that Challenge Tour card.
Ryan, are you someone that likes to keep an eye on the order of merit throughout the season?
I mean, you look at the money list over the last couple of years, and I don't think anyone's got off it without winning. So you know that you've got to win.
If you're not trying to finish first, then I'm not sure what you're doing. So yeah, the ultimate goal is to finish first, and I guess it would be a secondary goal would be to finish inside the top 5.
The standard of this tour is so good, it's really out of my control. So I'd love to finish first, but yeah, I'm just going to go out and play my game, and I know that if I play well, it's good enough to finish in the top 5, if not first.
There's a lot of golf left to be played, but it's nice to know where I'm at and that I'm still in the top 5, and hopefully it will remain there.
Coming from America, I struggled a bit. I was really quite aggressive, but then I'm slowly figuring out how to navigate these courses with a bit more effectiveness. I think that's really it.
With the points breakdown, a win's got to come at some point realistically, so to get one off my back straight away was a massive confidence boost. Allowed me to free up and just try and put another couple on there as well.
If you just keep playing good golf, the money and the position in the order of merit will be secondary.
This is how the order of merit is looking after 8 events. In third, we have James Allen. The gap tightens at the top, though, after Brandon Robinson-Thompson secured his victory at the Vale. Still leading the pack is Dermot McIlroy, who's taking a week off. Well, as we know, preparation is key to any successful round of golf. Well, earlier, Rachel went to the range to see how our professionals prepare.
Can you talk about your objectives and what you're doing here on the range?
Yeah, of course. These kind of sessions for me are just purely warming up. You know, I kind of leave all the technical stuff to weekends when we're at home and stuff like that, so I'm just purely getting a feel for what I'm trying to do and yeah, just get the body warmed up.
And you, like Tiger, do you go high, low, 9, 8? Is that what?
I'm not that good.
No?
No, I kind of do, there's kind of drill things that I do, a lot of kind of feet together stuff, like a lot of kind of chip shots, yeah. And then I'll maybe hit 3 or 4 full shots with each club through the bag.
You have the stick out here and then you're going to a target. What's that for?
So I'll pace out how far it is and then pick a halfway point just so I can get like a landing spot, see where it lands and then how much it runs.
And how long do you leave for your warm-up?
I like to hit balls for about half an hour.
I see you have a resistance band.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about how you're incorporating that into your warm-up?
So pretty much what I'm trying to do is activate the glutes. It helps me in my swing because I get a little weak in the legs, sometimes in the knees.
Are you thinking about, ball flight and things like that, or is it just purely getting the body ready at the range?
It's mostly body. I'm trying to find the strike, and then it's a little bit windy, so it's hard to find the flight. So just finding the strike and getting the body ready is all I care about, really.
So that's how the guys prepare. Hopefully a few of those tips might help you with your own game. Anyway, back to the action with the commentators.
Thanks, Rachel. Well, the hunted around the hunting course is Ben Jones. 2 shots clear of Nick Poppleton, with Chris McLean making up the final 3 ball, and serious promotion candidate Ryan Brooks also featuring on the leaderboard. With conditions friendly and the course immaculate, several of the chasers were off to a really quick start, such as Mark Young, a 3-time winner on the EuroPro Tour in 2018, who birdied the 2nd and again here at the 3rd in climbing to 7 under. Reaching par 5s is the stock in trade of powerful Brooks, who followed a par at the first with a comfortable birdie on the 556-yard second, the lengthiest hole on the course. Brooks, likewise, sits a challenging 7 under. One better and up into a tie for third, thanks to his birdie on the second, is an ever-present on the EuroPro Tour this season, Bailey Gill. And what about Nick Poppleton? Looking to consolidate on rounds of 68 and 67. He immediately moved double figures under the card with a 3 at the uphill first. A little further back, the likes of Daniel O'Loughlin and Stuart Green have both made pleasing intros. I can tell you, overnight pacer Jones parred the first, which means Poppleton is only one adrift. As Scott Drummond, he takes on the second.
Yeah, let's take a look at this par 5, just around 560 yards. Tee shot slightly down the hill into a narrow area there, fairway banks from right to left. It's a big hit to get up here in 2. If not, you're laying up into this area, leaving yourself a comfortable wedge in. But quite a narrow green there, big deep bunker in front of this green to catch you out if you miss club or misjudge. But plenty of birdie opportunities as always on these par 5s for these talented players. Here's Poppleton, launching his tee shot away, and that's gone left. That's down the adjacent fairway. Long way down, no trouble. That's a good miss down the left, gives himself a clear shot up towards the green. Now here's Jones. Will he follow him, or will he take it down the conventional route? It's quite a tight tee shot if you're heading down the fairway. Yeah, he's taken it left as well. Not quite as far left. I think he's got away with it though.
Last autumn, Tom Thurloway tied first in the Q School at Stoke-by-Nayland. He started today with a couple of pars. This for eagle on the third.
Yeah, very good.
Beautifully done. Now what about Poppleton back on the second?
Poppleton's gone left with his tee shot off of the second, the par 5, but it's actually the professional miss. He's into the adjacent fairway. This is the third that runs back in the other direction and actually gives himself obviously a lovely lie and a great angle up to the pin as well. He's got 263 yards. He's playing about a club uphill. The pin over towards the right-hand side. You've got a big bunker guarding it at the front. I would expect him to take this up the left-hand side, though. There's a little gap in the front left of the bunker for him to run it up if he can't carry it all the way. And if he does miss it there, that gives him the best angle to chip up, hopefully get down in 2 for the birdie.
Here's Jones. He's just in the edge of the semi-rough here. Actually going to be very good for him with a fairway wood. Giving it a good old dig. Trying to get it up to this green, or as close as he can. Yeah, that's a good miss there. Just in the front apron.
Best result of the season for Poppleton before this. A modest tied 18th at the Vale.
Also out with the fairway metal. Coming in a bit low. Was that going to skip by? Almost. Almost. Just on the fringe there. Be a straightforward chip and run up to that flag.
Now we've just seen Thurloway eagle the third. Can Brooks follow suit?
Yeah, very good.
Scott, length is a wonderful asset, and he's got length in abundance.
Yeah, absolutely. Always got to convert it though. You've got to hold the putts, which he's done. This one lofted very, very high. Coming in soft, needs to sit down. There's a huge slope there, and that one has gone. Painful that. There was room right to the pin. That's a bad miss from that range.
Now here's Bailey Gill, left-hander, playing out of Lindrick Golf Club in Worksop. Site of the last victory ever for Great Britain and Ireland in the Ryder Cup, 1957.
Wow, impressive stat that, Phil. That one again, you can see the slope and the speed on these greens. That one edging back away from the flag. A lot of undulation around this links. Now Jones back at the second. Just going to negotiate the slopes, which he's done majestically there. That's a wonderful shot, just about 3 feet there. That'll be for birdie.
One of those holes, the second, where the pin placement is all important. This one is really, really tricky, and from where he was, I think Nick Poppleton has done a wonderful job.
Yeah, he's using the backstop there behind the flag, played it very, very aggressively with lots of spin. Will be a quicker putt from there though, coming down the hill. Now here's Gill. Up the hill, slow putt for Eagle. Giving it a good bash. It's not quite going to get there though. 5-6 feet left for his birdie.
A good bash, that's a great technical term, and it applies here.
Absolutely, here's McLean. Negotiating the big slope, hit the pin. Oh, it has. Fantastic effort. Well, sometimes you just need those little bits of luck. That one could have bounced out, but it's dropped in for him now. Up at the third, here's Gill. Yes, just gets enough of the right edge. Well done, that's a good two putt from there.
Now, we told you before about Mark Young. Birdies on 2 and 3, looking for the hat-trick here at the fourth.
390-yard par 4. Down the breeze. What a shot that is. Go on then. Oh, incredible. What a start for Young. I'm not even sure he knows that's gone in. Absolutely inch perfect, this one. Down the breeze, down the slope. There you go.
I think he's just been informed now the penny's dropped. Turning back the clock 4 years to when he was second in the order of merit.
Yeah, great to see. What a start. Now Poppleton. Delicate one here, leaving the flag in down the slope. Yeah, very well judged. Solid birdie 4. Can Jones do the same? Indeed he can. Birdies all round. Guys making these par 5s look very simple.
Young is the hottest golfer on the course. Thirlaway and Brooks are already looking dangerous, but earning a degree of separation early in the closing round of the QHotels Collection Championship are Ben Jones and Nick Poppleton, both hoping Slaley Hall supplies their maiden victory on the PGA EuroPro Tour. Welcome back to scenic Slaley Hall and the QHotels Collection Championship, led by Ben Jones, who Kit spoke with before he teed off.
Ben, you're 9th in the order of merit so far, right up there amongst the players that have yet to get a win. How pleased have you been by the season to date?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a very steady season for me. Last year I obviously didn't play that well, but this year I seem to manage to consistently do the things well on the course and stick to game plans, and yeah, I'm happy to be in the position I am.
Yeah, you came off the back of a really stellar amateur career and then didn't play quite as well as you would have expected in your rookie season. Is it really nice to think, okay, right, I'm established in the game now, in the pro ranks, I'm more comfortable this year? Yeah,
I think when you're consistently putting the good numbers in, it builds your confidence, and it's nice. It's a nice feeling to have going into the next week, knowing that you're playing okay. So
you started the season with 2 runners-up finishes, then a couple of missed cuts. So highs and lows. What's going through your mind at that point? 4 events in, when you've had 2 great results, 2 missed cuts, how do you make sure you get back on track?
I just think you've this very fine margins. I mean, only top, like some weeks you can be playing all right, just not on a few putts. When only top 50 make the cut, it's very easy to miss a few cuts and think it's the worst thing in the world. But you just got to stick to what you're doing, and yeah, it seems to be paying off for me at the moment. So,
were you looking forward to getting up to Slaley Hall?
Yeah, it's a great venue. Played here recently as well, so yeah, I enjoyed it then, and it's been great this week. It's a proper track.
Yeah, you made the cut, finished tied 44th in the Asian Tour event here in early June, so you got to see it in tournament condition a bit more than some of the other guys. Do you think that's given you a little bit of an advantage?
I think so, yeah, just sort of know where to miss, and I've probably hit a few shots. They're joking, saying I might as well be a member, so, but no, I think it definitely helps. The more you play the course, the more comfortable you feel on it.
What have you learned from those previous experiences in the final group that you're looking to do today?
probably just to enjoy it and not take it too seriously, because anything can happen. And yeah, a win's everything on the tour, but just take it as it comes. It's what it is.
What would it mean to you if you did get that win today?
It'd be nice, yeah. I think it'd just be, I'll be proud of the way I've done it as well. So hopefully I can do it, but if not, we'll move on to next week and try and do it then.
After rounds of 66, then 67, the pride of Northamptonshire County Golf Club could be in line for a wire-to-wire victory. That said, Nick Poppleton is only one behind as they both target birdies at the third. By the numbers, the easiest hole on the hunting course this week.
Yeah, plays downhill from the tee, so plays relatively short. Pin quite accessible today. Let's see what Poppleton's got. Just trying to feed it in off that left bank. It's just going to hang up, I think. Yeah, just on the fringe, pin high.
In the interview with Kit, I think he was downplaying the importance of today, Ben Jones. When you consider he's 9th in the order of merit at the moment, a win and promotion would be very much on the agenda.
Absolutely. Cracking shot in there, centre of the green. Yeah, the win is massive and he knows it. Just trying to take a little bit of pressure off himself. All you can do is your best. Now here's Brooks up ahead at the 5th, par 3. It's controlled swing in there, trying to control the ball flight in this wind. Touch long, but no danger there.
If you like your par 3s picturesque, this is for you.
Yeah, some wonderful holes around this course. He doesn't like that one. A little bit left. Well, a little bit left. Only 6 feet left. That's a cracking shot. I'm not sure why he didn't like that one.
We are here on the third with Chris McLean's second shot on the par 5. To be fair, I think he'd rather it was in the bunker. I certainly would. He's got quite a lot of grass between club and ball, which isn't going to help him access that pin with not much green to work with. The greens are soft, which is in his favour, but if he can get up and down here, it's a really good birdie.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. It is a slightly awkward stance. These guys are super hot on the short game usually, though. Practice it for hours. Just needs to settle there. You can see the slope. Look at that. Just needed to land it in that left fringe, a little bit higher up.
From a former Scotland amateur international to a former England amateur international. Gill on 4.
Well, we know this pin is accessible. We've seen one hole out today. Just coming up a little shy there. Down the breeze, perhaps looking for a bit more help than there was. Always tricky down breeze when the pin's at the back of the green. You don't want to go long. Now Poppleton. Eagle attempt with a putter through the fringe on 3. Super quick once it gets on. But he's not given that enough. And that's going to be another downhill putt for birdie there.
Now here's the champion at Camberwell Park. Ryan Brooks. 3 other top 10s this season. Well on course for another.
Yeah, solid attempt there. It's very close. Now Jones. This for Eagle. Up the hill, right to left. Got to give it enough. You can see the swing across the face of the hole there. Tricky pin position that today. Gill now. Opting with a putter through the fringe. Go on then, it's a super roll.
Now on the second, it wasn't the best of chips from McLean. The putter covered the cracks. Will it do so here? Oh, he had the line, but nowhere near the pace.
Yeah, the pace up that hill, catching a few guys out today, I think. Greens are super quick downhill, and when you get an uphill one, it's a bit tricky now. Furl away.
Very good, mate.
Very well converted there.
Poppleton leaving the pin in. Works well for the US Open champion Matt Fitzpatrick. And it works well for Nick Poppleton.
Yeah, that's 2 good putts there. The last 2 holes for birdie. Left himself a bit of work to do. Converted both of them. Jones now. Should be a formality. Very solid 4. Guys are off to a good start.
I said before that Jones and Poppleton enjoyed a degree of separation. Now 4 and 3 shots clear of the 5 players currently sharing third. They have real separation. I guess though, Kit, there's 0 chance of getting carried away.
Nick, dream start, 3 birdies to get your day off and running. That must be what you were dreaming of this morning.
Yeah, pretty much. You just go. We just said Andy jumped on the bag yesterday mid-round because he's just come up. We were just saying, no, just stick to hitting the golf shots that you're trying to hit, and see what happens from there on in. I mean, you can get a bit worried about what score you're going to shoot rather than hitting loads of good shots. So that's sort of the plan. Ben's got off to a nice little start as well, picking up 2 of the easy ones on the par 5s. It's just what you've got to do around here, and just nibble away at it and just keep your ball in play and hit loads of good golf shots.
It's cleared off into quite a nice day there. Tell us about the conditions and how they differ from earlier in the week.
Yeah, it's lovely. I mean, we were in a monsoon Monday. I was on the 14th tee box when the heavens opened, and we couldn't even see the green. It was like 160 yards to the front edge, and we could not physically see the green. So yeah, you can say it's probably dry. It's got a bit wetter. I mean, a little different from everywhere we played this year. It's been like playing on concrete. Been like playing on Heathrow all week. It's been so solid this year on EuroPro. I mean, ball's been going miles, but now we've come up north, we've got some of that a bit of rain, haven't we? You Southerners don't know about that, do you?
Liquid sunshine
exactly,
in the north, isn't it?
Liquid sunshine, yeah, exactly.
And I've noticed putting with the flag stick in. What's the reasoning behind that?
Too lazy to pick it out.
Great reason.
Pretty much that. I'm not one of the fitsies or the stats are like 2.3% better in my favour, but I put it nicely in COVID actually. I've only just started doing it for a couple of months ago. I put it nice in COVID, and I think it's sort of dials my pace in a tad. So, yeah, I'm just rolling with that and just wagging it really. And if it's a long way away, I'm just leaving it in because I'm lazy. Okay.
Brilliant start. Keep it going.
Cheers, geese.
Cheers, Nick.
Laid back or what?
Yeah, very relaxed. That's the attitude to a degree. Got to get the game face on though. Now here's Gill at the par 3 up the hill, back right pin. Judged that beautifully. Super shot in there. Guys can't see the bottom of the flag there. Now let's take a look at number 4, 389 yard par 4 down the hill to the bottom of the fairway, around 225 off the tee, leaves around about 155 to the front of this green. Turn the corner a little bit up the hill. Trees behind the green there. Nice backdrop. Very accessible hole with a short iron. Guys definitely looking to make another birdie on this hole.
Yes, we had the Tour Championship here last autumn. You get in that right-hand rough when it's been raining, and the water might come into play, but certainly not today.
No, not for these guys on a day like this. That's a wonderful shot. All the way up, just past the pin. Great view from here. See Jones just working that one in from the middle of the green towards that left pin location. Now what's Poppleton got? Similar shot, just got to judge the wind and the slope up the hill. And he's done that very well. A couple of birdie chances coming up.
Now this is Thurlaway, English amateur champion in 2018, emulating the likes of Paul Casey, Danny Willett and Lee Westwood by getting his name on that trophy.
Yeah, some great names on it. And that's a wonderful approach shot in there. Very aggressive, just about 6 feet for birdie. We saw Gill's tee shot on 5. Just about 10 feet for birdie. No, that was always a little to the left. Just going to clean this one up for his par. A little bit disappointing after such a great tee shot.
On 4, McLean from Balmore Golf Club, north of the border.
Long range birdie attempt. Hits the right edge of the hole. Just a little too much pace on it to drop.
Let's go. You cleaning, baby? Or... Yeah, I'll take it.
Now the sixth is only 331 yards, but Ryan Brooks has to get up and down to salvage par.
Yeah, left himself work to do. Down the slope with the bunker shot.
Awesome. Yeah, very good.
Judged that very well indeed. That was a little bit delicate. Poppleton now for his birdie on 4. Get to 13 under. Not much movement in this one. And he knew straight off the bat that wasn't getting in. Always hung out to the right.
Yeah.
Back up to 6 and Thurl away for a birdie to get double digits under the card. Never anywhere else.
Yeah, cracking approach shot there. Deserved the birdie. Back at 4, here's Jones to get to 14 under and extend the lead. Yeah, very solid. Great start for Jones.
Thurlaway becomes the third player, double figures under par. Poppleton remains second alone, but thanks to a 3 consecutive birdie burst, Jones is back where he was after 36 holes. 2 clear and looking good as the last group tackled the appealing 5th.
177 yards this par 3, up the hill, through the trees. Beautiful par 3. Pin is tucked back right today. Players won't be able to see the bottom of the flag. Got to trust the yardage. There's a bunker out there on the right if you get too aggressive on this pin. But we've seen some nice shots in here so far this morning. And Jones appears to be in control of his game. Stay there now. Yeah, pretty good. Anytime you're getting your iron shots in, pin high on the safe side, you can't be too displeased. Poppleton now, will he be a bit more aggressive at this pin? No, also keeping it safely towards the centre of the green. Great judgment of length though.
Now we know Bailey Gill can go low. He won the Gawler Open in Oman on the MENA Tour in 2020, and he shot a 64 around his home course Lindrick in Open Regional qualifying this year.
Always a great asset to have, being able to go low, especially on this tour. Now here's White. Yeah, beautifully judged approach. Tricky today, guys haven't got much yardage into this flag. There's some humps at the front of the green. Take your view away, you've got to trust the yardage again. Now it's 7, here's Thurlaway with his approach. Right over the top of the flag and coming back nicely. That is a wonderful shot. I think we can give him that one for birdie.
Encouraging signs recently for Thurlaway, who shot 65 at Belton Woods in the second round. Now back to Gill. That's just the kind of pace that shows you are confident, authoritative, right into the hole without any question.
Yeah, now can White follow him in the same? He can indeed. Birdies galore at this hole today.
The final group have all found their shots into this par 3 on the green. There's a couple up on the top tier, McLean's on the lower tier. It's hard to see on the camera, but it's slightly uphill for them and left to right. If they hit it too hard, it then falls away past the flag. 2-putt here is a great result for all of them.
Well, you have to say, the way the guys have been playing and rolling the ball, They will be looking to threaten the hole, even from this range. Like Rachel said, you've got to judge it nicely, just like that. Absolutely majestic.
Yeah, it's good for me.
Little bit of a steal, that one.
Now can Jones pop this in and restore his two-shot cushion?
Always nice to see a long-range putt go in. Ahead of yours, and he gave that one a great try as well. Just slightly lacking in pace. But a solid par. Retains the lead.
It's brewing up nicely, with Gill becoming the latest player to reach 10 under or better. Thirlaway and Poppleton are currently the chief threats to Jones, but unlike Donington Grove, where he lost his way within 4 holes of triumphing, Jones appears in control. Will this highly regarded second-year pro make today his breakthrough? The story from Slaley continues in just a moment. Up in the northeast of England, you'll find Slaley Hall, a venue very much to the liking of Nick Poppleton.
Nick, a little bit of a quiet season so far. How do you feel it's been going?
Yeah, I actually got off to a quite nice start to the year playing on the Clutch Tour. I actually finished third on their Order of Merit to get a Challenge Tour start in the early swing when there wasn't an EuroPro, and then was looking quite excited for the season, and kind of sort of put it in reverse really. Actually, never really got sort of going. Sort of lost a little bit, struggled a little bit off the tee, and then kind of found it back and just worked hard over the past month or so to get it back in a place where I can compete. And it showed over the past sort of 3-4 weeks on EuroPro, but I've not really actually put any low ones in yet. I seem to play well in the Pro-Am, but never in the tournament. But hopefully that's the end of that.
What did you do to get it back on track?
I just worked hard. It's the same old things with players, you know. Sometimes we come off track, and you know, you just need your coach to just tell you what, you know, the same thing that he's always told you, because you know, we're creatures of habit. We just come off track, and his job's to get me back on track.
How important is it to have that around you, though? People that are willing to say the hard stuff and have the hard conversations, and also guys that know exactly what it takes to get all the way to the top.
I guess for a player, that's quite tough to hear that it's not always technique, and because obviously we get down the rabbit hole a little bit with thinking it has to be perfect, but you see a lot of different moves and you see a lot of different body shapes, and you know, it's different techniques and different things for different guys, and yeah, it's not a hard conversation, but it's what you need at that moment, and that's his job, is to give you the right information. So it's good to know that they've got your back in that sense. Everyone's got strengths to the game, and it's just about making sure that they sort of shine at the right time. I found that actually sometimes it's not my weaknesses that hold me back, it's that my strengths don't shine sometimes. Like, I've always been a fantastic caller-outer and really good on the greens, and then so when that goes off the boil, actually that's when my game sort of more struggles than anything. I can manage all the negatives, I can nudge them around, but sometimes when the strengths don't shine, it makes it even harder.
What would it feel like if you did get the win today, given the journey you've been on, and just to sort of justify that you're on the right path?
A goal in the season is always to win, because the money's obviously so top heavy that you give yourself a chance of getting off. But you know, to be in contention, like Ben's proved it, players proved it last year without winning, getting off. I think Dan Brown did it last year without winning, which is extremely impressive. So you know, you've got to be around contention as much as you can. So that's really the goal, is to be around the numbers as much as you can.
Poppleton couldn't have wished for a more profitable start today after matching pars at the short but tricky par 4 sixth. He trails Ben Jones by a single stroke. In third, 3 behind the leader, is Tom Thirlaway, who's arrived at the always demanding par 3 eighth.
181 yards. This par 3. Plays uphill about 5 yards, so half a club. Tight pin today on that left side, and that's one way to get there. Work it in off that left bank. It's turned out a treat.
The 7th, down the hill, dogleg, right to left. Poppleton, A1.
Yeah, prime position. And that was right down the flag. Just half a club short, perhaps. McLean now. Down the left side off the tee, just in the edge of the semi-rough. Again, able to take dead aim from this angle, and he does so. That's a wonderful shot. A little bit unlucky not to spin back and edge a little bit closer. But that'll be a great birdie opportunity. Now Jones, long way down on 7. He really will be attacking this pin from there, you would think. Oh, just shoved it to the right a little bit. The amount of backspin on that, bringing it back to pin high.
When I think of this hole, the 8th, I always think back to the Senior PGA Championship when Gordon Brand Jr. defeated Gordon Brand in a marathon playoff.
Great putt there. Very solid, capitalising in that break. Coming in off the left bank. Now Poppleton, pretty slow putt up the hill here for birdie. He's judged that pretty well.
That's good for me, thanks.
It was bang on line. Not one to race past the pin, because it would be quick coming back down the hill.
There's something aesthetically pleasing about left-handed sportsmen. Golfers are no exception. And look at that from Bailey Gill. It's in the hole. It's in the hole.
What a shot. Again, he didn't see it go in. I think he just heard the cheers. Oh, that is special.
Well done, Spenny.
Special moment to capture on camera, that. And I hope he's got his wallet. Be expensive bar bill.
Gill up the hill for an ace.
Well, it's all happening, isn't it, on this front 9. Incredible stuff. Now Jones up the hill for birdie. Another one. Fantastic effort. Really is on fire.
What a showcase for the EuroPro Tour. And amidst all of the excellence, that is quite a rare mistake.
Yeah, quite a lot of swing on that putt, but he will be disappointed. It was a great opportunity.
Generally, though, what an exhibition of truly spectacular golf. And the leaders haven't yet reached the turn. Gill's hole-in-one propels him back into a tie for 3rd, alongside Thurloway. But on this evidence, Jones will take some stopping. The question right now, though, can he do a Gill?
Well, it would be pretty spectacular to get 2, but it is an accessible pin on that left side with the slope kicking it back. That's a decent effort. Just going to hang up on the fringe. Poppleton now. What's he got? Looks like he's just trying to work that one in a little bit right to left, covering the shot with his body, and he's done a great job of it. Wonderful effort. Below the hole, just about 10 feet. That's a great birdie opportunity.
The key now for McLean. Nice to forget about the disappointment of missing out on a birdie at the previous hole. Yeah, that will do nicely.
Yeah, just got to keep hitting good shots in, giving yourself chances. Some putts are going to miss, some are going to drop. Now Gill, his approach to the 9th. Beautiful view from here. That's a cracking shot in, looking for it to release down the green. Just taking the slope away from the flag, unfortunately, but what a demanding hole this today.
Jones has only got about 15 feet or so for his birdie here, but it's going to be really quick. It's downhill and it's coming from right to left as well. There'll be significant spin at the end of it. And what you've got to be careful of here, he's just coming a little bit out of the apron now. Because we've had a little bit of rain, the apron is really quite lush. The greens themselves, really quick, rolling brilliantly. So there's quite a big difference between rolling it through the apron and then when it gets onto the green. Now downhill, what you don't want to do is bust this one 8 or 10 feet past. So the inclination, always to be a little bit light on it, and you leave yourself 2 or 3 feet downhill for the par. Be really interesting to see if he can gauge the pace correctly out of the apron.
Well, the good thing is he hasn't got a lot of apron to go through, although he's starting this out to the right. Very delicate, as Kit said. And that is superb judgment. Very, very good from Jones.
Now the 10th is a reasonably gentle opener to the back nine, just 361 yards. That back flag, though, can cause problems, and that's the reason why you have to get it up there.
Yeah, some vicious slopes on some of these greens. Makes the pin positions very interesting. Now McLean, left to right for birdie. That was a very good effort again. They're just not dropping for him. He's got to stay patient. He's hitting all the right shots in. Gill now, long range birdie attempt on 9. Very, very good as well. Greens really are running beautifully and the guys seem to have the pace of them. Down to a tee. Now Thurlaway. Approach spun all the way down the slope to there. Steady now. Well, that's going to be a little tester in this breeze that's freshening.
To get back within 1 of the leader.
Superb stuff. Judged that beautifully. Smiles all round. Now Thurlaway. A little right to left on this one. Got to be positive with it, and he is. Very good.
Not been too convincing on the greens today, McLean, but we still didn't ever expect him to miss that. That really hurts. A tough bogey to take relegates McLean to a tie for 5th, 7 adrift of Jones, who's holding Poppleton at bay. Terrific play at an outstanding venue, the perfect mix to put a smile on everyone's face and make the hosts justifiably proud.
I'm delighted to be joined by Neil Smith and Keith Pickard. Thank you so much for having us here once again at this beautiful venue. Can you start by telling us a little bit more about Slaley Hall Hotel, Spa and Golf Resort?
Yeah, so we're set in just over 1,000 acres of beautiful Northumberland countryside. We've got 2 fantastic championship golf courses, wonderful hotel, spa and outdoor pursuits, and what's not to love about Slaley. And I'm sure Neil will expand, with that being his baby out there, will expand a little bit more on the courses.
Yeah, the 2 courses are excellent. They're really good, challenging. We have all-out adventures on site, which do quad biking, segways, all sorts of different things. Obviously, Keith mentioned the spa facilities are, you know, they've got everything that we need here, swimming pools and everything. But I think the location, you know, so many people come and sit on this terrace and spend hours and hours just, you know, looking at the views. And then again, on top of that, we've got the golf courses, which, you know, are very challenging, you know, good standard of golf to get around on a good score. So it's a really attractive venue to turn up and stay for as long as you want, really.
And Keith, you're really proud to support tournament golf, aren't you? In particular, the PGA EuroPro Tour. Why is that?
Yeah, it forms one of our key sort of pillars from our positioning perspective for the QHotels collection. We've had a long-standing relationship with Dan Godding from the EuroPro, and we're really sort of proud to be having the ability to invest into golf and to actually invest into the next future stars of golf, next Open winners, etc. And so it's a great partnership, and it's one that we certainly see continuing for many years to come.
At the QHotels Collection Championship, Could Ben Jones check out of Slaley Hall with the silverware? Welcome back to Slaley Hall, known as the Augusta of the North, where Rachel Drummond is chatting with tournament leader Ben Jones.
Ben, fantastic start. Can you talk us through?
Yeah, I took advantage of the par fives, and yeah, I've held a couple of nice putts since as well. So
That'll do it.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I saw you absolutely launch one on 3. It
Yeah.
seems like you're playing quite aggressively off the tee. Is that part of the game plan?
Yeah, I always just try. If I'm going to hit driver, I might as well hit it hard. So that's why I gave that. It's quite an open hole as well, so that's why I hit that one a bit harder. But paid off because I made my 4. So yeah, I'm happy with the way it's going at the moment.
And you did launch it about 100 yards past your playing partners. You've been in the gym.
No, far from it. Far from it. I think my membership hasn't been used for a long time.
That's quality of technique there. And you seem to be having a giggle with the guys you're playing with. Is that nice in the final round?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played with Nick for ages, and yeah, it's just nice. You just got to enjoy your 18 holes of golf. So yeah, it helps when you have a laugh.
And the stock of Jones is rising. You see on the sharp dogleg 11th, Tom Thurloway drops a shot for the second time this week and falls back to 10 under as a consequence. The downhill 462-yard 9th is the longest par 4 on the course with multiple defences. There have been 116 bogeys there during the event, the last of them from Poppleton, who commits his first error of the final round. That means this: Jones, who safely parred the 9th, returns 2 shots clear of Poppleton, with Gill now alone in 3rd. He's reached the awkward 11th, where a tee shot, accurate both in terms of direction and length, is a golden asset.
Yeah, sharp dog leg to the right. Just a tee shot to try and get in position. Avoid the bunker right in the centre of the fairway. Big slope on the right half of this fairway. You can see that one trundling down. That's in a good spot though. Now let's take a look at the 10th hole, 427-yard par 4, slight dog leg right to left. Guys hitting a driver up into this sort of area, 275 to 300 off the tee, just leaving the guys about 120 to the front of this green. The pin today is up on the back right, as we saw. Got to get your approach all the way up there, otherwise it's trundling back down way below this hole, leaving an awkward putt.
Ball just below his feet, Poppleton.
Yeah, not a bad thing with this pin on the right. You can work it in with a little fade, and he has done. That's a fantastic approach. Not much room to work with, as you can see. Now Jones, another great tee shot in the centre of the fairway. Can he judge this one? Breezes off the left. Looks like he's tugged that one a little bit. Yeah, just held it up on the left side. Pretty straightforward from there. Disappointing though, he's been hitting the ball beautifully on the front 9.
Now this 12th hole, when the flowers are in bloom, it's a beautiful place. Thurloway just avoiding the bunker on the right-hand side, but still air-mailing the green. He's well big there.
Yeah, that's going to be a real test of the short game to get that one up and down. Now Stewart at 13, par 5, this is his approach. Tight front pin, and he's judged that very, very well indeed. Now here is Thurloway. Looks to be sitting okay, and looks like he's going to take the aerial route. Well, he's just slid underneath that one. It's a high tariff shot, but he didn't have much option there.
Gill, one part of the equation solved on the 11th. Well, although he's found the green there, this is a notoriously difficult green to read.
This is Ben Jones's ball just to the left of the 10th green. Disappointed to miss it, but he'll actually fancy this one. As you could see there, it's lying absolutely beautifully. It's slightly downhill, slightly down breeze, so it's going to be quick, and it is going to swing significantly from left to right as the pace comes off it. But he can do anything he wants with this. We've seen him play one brilliant chip already on the second from a much more difficult position. I think this is the type of shot he'll get over and think, I could hold this.
Yeah, many options open to Jones. Looks like he's got a fairly lofted wedge. There we go, a little check on the second bounce down the hill, pretty quick. Steady now. He would have fancied that one halfway, that was tracking.
Now you might recall that electric start from Mark Young. 4 under. After 4 holes. Well, since then, bogeys on 7 and 12. No other birdies. Oh, that was for eagle, though.
You're not going to believe what I just seen.
On 13.
Got to the hole and just went to the indicator, the left indicator.
Well, that's as close as it gets without dropping. At least they can laugh about it now. Great effort, though. Now Thurlaway, this with his 4th now, after going very long. This for par, steady, very aggressive there. He's going to have work to do for the bogey.
And there's work to do here for Bailey Gill. He should tidy up for a par. And any time I think you make a par on that 11th hole, you can't really complain.
Yeah, it is tricky. A tricky green as well, like you say, Phil. Now Jones. Very good up and down. Saves the par. And he strides on.
And saves the word here, trying to limit damage.
Yeah, this is a huge putt. Can't afford to drop 2 shots at this stage.
Thanks.
And he doesn't. Very, very good.
Yeah.
Poppleton continuing to leave the flag in. This one just about 3.5 feet for birdie. Very good. He's edging closer to that lead.
Yes, but in terms of challenging for the title, Thurlaway is slipping away. Gill has ground to make up, while Poppleton's back on the heels of Jones as they both seek their 2nd birdie of the tournament on the 11th.
And here is the 11th, 402 yards. You can see that bunker in the middle of the fairway at about 220 off the tee. Just got to skirt past it. We'll fly it over if you can and stop it before the end of the fairway. Then the hole turns almost 90 degrees to the right. The approach shot of just around about 140 yards to the front of this green. You can see large bunker short and a large bunker on the right. As we said, it's a notorious green that's difficult to read. If you can fire approaching close, you may have a chance. Otherwise, guys are generally happy to get out of this hole with a par. Poppleton now with his iron from the tee. Down the right side. Steady on. Just hangs on to the edge of the fairway. Not sure if he might be a tiny bit blocked out on his approach around the corner.
Now the 12th is one of the tighter fairways on the golf course. Nicely found though from Bailey Gill. He was tied 5th at Camberwell Park recently. He's had 4 top 25 so far this season.
Yeah, some steady stuff. Just needs to get a bit of a jiggle on. Now here's Jones. Tee shot on 11. Bounding down the fairway. Should be in great position there. Now Thurlaway, par 5, 13th. bit of an awkward one. Chip and run. Just getting away from him. You can see the pace in these greens. Wow. That has really motored on. Well, it will be a putt for birdie, but not as close as he was hoping for.
And now we saw Thurloway have his problems on 12. Gill hoping for superior distance control.
It looks like he's dragged it a little bit. That's fine though. Bit of extra length, but it's held the green.
Now back to Rachel.
We are with Nick Poppleton's shot on the 11th hole here. He's now one shot from the leader, Ben Jones. He's got 120. It's a blind shot over the trees, winds out the right to a right pin location. It's a tough shot. Luckily, he's found the fairway, which will hopefully give him access to that tight pin.
Well, this is what he is facing, and this is treacherous because a slight misjudgment here, and the ball's going to finish well away from the green, let alone the pin. Let's hope he's judged it. Oh, he has indeed. Hit the green, spinning back. You can see the slope, taking it a long way back, but from there, I think he'll be happy to be on the putting surface.
After his bogey on 12 and overhit chip shot on 13, can Thurloway still bounce back? The answer is no. Back-to-back fives when you're challenging for any title in professional golf, not recommended.
No, that's a disappointing par on this par 5. The chip shot got away from him, left himself too much to do. Now Jones here on 11, in the perfect spot, great view of the pin. Wind off the right, just got to work it in from the right edge of the green, really. Oh, so close to going in. Spins back to about 12 feet. Another great birdie opportunity coming up.
Gill now. Also for birdie, but not so great. I think that was more of a misread. Yeah, he seemed a little confused.
Yeah, it looked like that putt was definitely going to move right to left, but just stayed straight on him. Now Poppleton, long putt here for birdie on 11. As we said, he'd be happy to get out of here with a par. It's a tough green, and he's judged that very well. Should be a formality, that. Just about 12 inches for his par. And after where the tee shot was, I think he'd be quite happy.
You know, thinking about Ben Jones, runner-up at Harleford this season, lost by a stroke to James Allen, tied second at Donington Grove when he had the tournament under control. Oh, that's why he so desperately wanted that birdie putt to drop, to give himself a modicum of breathing space.
Yeah, again, it was a good effort. There's quite a lot of break around that hole.
Now into the back nine, this increasingly has the look of a three-horse race. That's Gill, certainly not to be discounted yet, Poppleton, and still with his nose in front, just Jones. The second half of the PGA EuroPro Tour campaign is coming up trumps at the QHotels Collection Championship, where Poppleton is hoping to nick the trophy. It's been a disappointing day for the almost forgotten man in the final group at Slaley Hall, but in general, Chris McLean's fortunes are on the up.
First 2.5 years prior to COVID hitting, you were playing out on the Pro Golf Tour in continental Europe. What was that like as an experience?
It was an experience, you know. We started off each year in Egypt, which is pretty intense, and then we went to Morocco. That was an eye-opener, you know. You get quite comfortable as an amateur driving around the UK at the same courses every week, same guys, and all of a sudden you're in a country where no one speaks English. It's a pretty steep learning curve, and I think it definitely stands me in good stead to sort of try and make it. But yeah, it was great fun, you know. We had a good bunch of guys. There was about 10 of us that travelled, and yeah, the standard out there is really good. It's good here as well. It's good everywhere now, but you know, I think it definitely gave me a good grounding.
Yeah, how did those experiences help you grow, not just on the course, but as a human being off the course as well?
Oh yeah, like I went to university, but you had to grow up pretty quick. Like you're no management company. You're having to get hotels and car hire. Like I remember in Morocco, we rented a car, didn't have any windscreen wipers at all, nothing. One of the events, our car got towed. I had to get a taxi. My dad was in the middle of Agadir somewhere trying to get the car back. It was just like stuff like that. You need to grow up pretty quick and become switched on. So that was a lot of growth.
You mentioned going to University of Stirling graduate. Yep. We've seen a lot of great golfers come through there. Yeah. What was that like as an environment to prepare yourself for the pro game?
Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. When I was there, the team was incredible. We had like Cormac Sharvin, who's on the European Tour, Jack McDonald, who was unlucky here last year, Arco Eaton, who's in Challenge Tour, Matthias Eggenberger. Like, we just had an unbelievable Craig Howie, who's on European Tour. You know, I think when I was there my second year, we had 4 players inside the top 100 in the WAGR, which for a tiny university in Scotland's unbelievable. And we got in, yeah, just being around those guys every day, you just learn what the standard is. And then we had Dino, obviously, head coach. He knows what he's talking about. He's some guy.
2 bogeys against a single birdie have seen McLean slide off the leaderboard. At 7 under, the Scot is 8 strokes in arrears of Ben Jones, the leader. I can tell you both Jones and his closest pursuer Nick Poppleton parred the pretty but narrow 12th. So at the top it's as you were, with Bailey Gill putting on the 13th to edge just a little nearer.
Birdie attempt, right to left. Judged it very well.
The 15th, a nest of tees. Lovely par 3 this, heading back towards the trees over the water.
Yeah, just over 200 yards. Looks like he's tugged that one left. Where is she? Yeah, there you go, pin high left, just on the fringe. Will be a little bit of an awkward up and down from there.
Looking to complete the hat-trick of birdies, Nick Poppleton here at 13. Made a 4 in rounds 1 and 2.
Well, just coming up short and right on this par 5, and that is awkward on the downslope. That might be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's going to test him.
Trouble off the tee for Jones, so this is 3rd, and a very lengthy 3rd as well.
Yeah, no question, if you get out of position on this golf course, it does punish you. Jones finds the green safely, and another one pin high.
At 15, one of those really tough putts to judge. Up the slope, over the fringe. Decent. Now, back on 13, has Poppleton caught a break?
With Poppleton's approach on 13, if I was playing, I would have crossed this area out completely with that right flag and my miss would have been left. But these guys are being aggressive today, final round. Ball's slightly below his feet. It is sitting up a bit, which will help him get the height, but he's hardly got any green to work with. If he walks off with a par here, he's hit jackpot. It's like a birdie.
Last year, Poppleton qualified for the Open at Royal St George's, played a practice round with Bryson DeChambeau and Phil Mickelson. I think Mickelson would have struggled to get that one close.
Yeah, it looked like he played it quite well, but you could see the bounce was so firm. I think the only option was a really high tariff one, which was to almost take a full swing and play the parachute shot. But that could have just dunged in the bunker in front of him, so he's on the green, but it'll be a long range 2-putt for par. Now McLean, who's just off the left fringe. Pretty quick in the second half of this putt. He's just got a little bit tentative on that one. Bang on line.
Up to 14, Bailey Gill very much in line for a personal best finish on the PGA EuroPro Tour. And that approach will do him no harm whatsoever.
Yeah, superb effort from there. Below the hole. Poppleton now. This is where the chip shot finished. Should have had a bit of a read off McLean's. And a bit of an eye for the pace. But again, just coming up a little shy. That's going to test him for his par.
And so Jones, a member of last year's GB and Ireland Walker Cup team at Seminole, has this for a 2-shot lead.
Yeah, in trouble off the tee, but this for birdie. Great effort as well. Burning the edge of the hole once again.
Poppleton and Jones missing out on birdie at 13. Good news for Bailey Gill. Oh, but that one tapering away. Bad news.
Yeah, the margins are so fine in this game, as we know. A couple of those putts that burn the edge, if they go the other way, makes things very different. Now McLean, this for birdie. Touch of right to left on it. Yeah, well judged. Poppleton with the flag back in. And this for his par. Big putt this. Ooh, just gets enough of the left edge. His heart would have been in his mouth for a second there.
A first-time Euro Pro Tour champion will be crowned today, and unless Gill puts together a marvellous finish, Jones and Poppleton are the prime candidates as they try to sort out the 14th.
Yeah, 381 yards, this beautiful par 4. Bunker down the right off the tee, water down the left, starts at about 250, but guys getting it down, only leaving themselves about 110 yards to the front of this green. Beautiful looking hole, water lurks on the left, won't trouble these guys. Huge putting surface, 47 yards from front to back. And Poppleton has found the fairway from the tee.
158 yards. 7-9.
Unbelievable. What a shot. Well, that really throws the cat amongst the pigeons. We've seen it all today, haven't we? Look at this one. Again, perfectly judged. Couldn't have gone more in the centre of the hole.
2 hole outs from the fairway from Mark Young and Nick Poppleton. The hole-in-one from Bailey Gill. What's next?
Jones coming from the sand. Didn't quite get the strike on it. Got it onto the front of the green. Won't be too disappointed. Well, third away now. His approach to 16. Needs a strong finish. Over the flag. Half a club long there.
That's a wonderful feeling, isn't it? Going up and getting the ball out of the hole for a 2, an eagle 2.
Yeah, that'll feel as good as a hole-in-one feels. Now here is the hole-in-one man. At 15, 206 yard par 3. Fine approach. Pin high again, just about 18, 20 feet right of the flag.
This is going to require all of Jones's finesse. It's lying beautifully on a bit of fairway grass. He can get great contact on it. But as you can see, he's coming up a little slope. It's steeper than it looks. And once it gets onto the green, it's going to be rapid. And he's only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paces of green to work with. Ordinarily, you might even see him take a putter out here, but with it being relatively wet and that grass quite lush, I think he's got to carry it up on, get a little bit of grab on the first bounce, and then just let it gradually release down to the hole.
And bear in mind, this has to go in now for Jones to retain a share of the lead.
Yeah, opting to chip this one. Take some of the slope out of play. Well, he's left himself a little bit of work there. Needs that for the par.
Realistically, for Thurlaway now, I think it's a battle for 4th place.
Steady now, rush of blood there. Had the line on it. But again, work to do, closing stages, doesn't want to drop anything now, Gill. Par 3 15th, tee shot was pin high. This would be a big putt to make, and he has. Superb birdie on this 15th hole.
And with big numbers lurking on the finish at Sloley Hall around the hunting course, we can't write Bailey Gill off just yet.
No, anything can happen. It's a tough closing stretch. Now Jones. This for par, right to left swing, and that's a loose one to drop. 3 to get down from the fringe.
Talk about a realignment at the top. On the 14th tee, Poppleton was 1 behind. Now on the 15th tee, he's 2 clear.
And here is the 15th, the par 3, 206 yards. You can see across the water, not bothering these guys obviously. Big slope up to the front of this green. We've seen a few guys short and left. It is awkward. The ideal shot, pin high or just past pin high into the middle of the green. Let's see what Poppleton can do. Guy's probably going in with a big 6, smooth 5 iron perhaps. There's a bunker lurking out to the right. If you go too safe, well, that's a wonderful shot. And he applies more pressure to Jones with that.
You know, Ben Jones, when he was tied second at Donington Grove, he 4-putted the 15th for a triple bogey. This time the 14th has been very much against him. Can he respond?
Well, that would have looked good in the air. That was right down the banner. But he comes up half a club short. And with this front pin, there's no real margin for error. Gill now on 16. Trailing by 3. As we said, it's a tough finishing stretch, so anything can happen. Again, another player just firing it over this pin. Tricky to judge up the hill. Jones opting for the putter here. Firm with it at the start. But then it does release on. And his test is going to continue.
Now, this is not an enviable putt. The 16th, one of those holes where the pin position is so influential. And just above that huge slope. Yeah, I'm not surprised he was cautious there.
Yeah, there's no prizes for being bold. Coming from the back of this green. Poppleton now, after that fine tee shot on the par 3. Can he back up his eagle with a birdie? No, a little bit tentative. I think it was bang on line.
When the pin is in that bowl at the front of the green, 16 is a genuine birdie chance. But I'll tell you what, the guys will be happy with par today. Gill most certainly.
Absolutely, that was a great 2-putt from there. Now here's another tester for Jones. And he's just pulled it slightly. Well, that's disappointment compounded. 2 bogeys in a row. And he needs to steady the ship now on the closing stretch.
On 17, there's trees to the left, out of bounds to the right. But off the tee, Brooks is simply perfect. And that's simply perfect as well in the hole for another eagle 2. Ryan Brooks up to -9.
Incredible scenes. Another hole out from the fairway.
Brooks in line for priceless Order of Merit points. So too Gill, but firmly in command. 3 clear, 3 holes to negotiate is Poppleton. During the pandemic, our leader spent time driving for a supermarket. Now he's back in a very different driver's seat. But will Poppleton deliver at Slaley Hall? Find out after the break. There are numerous contenders for Event of the Year on the PGA EuroPro Tour. But by any criteria, the QHotels Collection Championship must be very high on the list. With only 3 holes left, Nick Poppleton leads by 3 from Bailey Gill and Ben Jones. Mind you, given the severity of the finish on the hunting course at Slaley Hall, we could yet witness another major swing. Poppleton's on the 16th tee, a hole he's birdied in each of the 2 preceding rounds.
Out with the 3-wood, just looking to shape it a little bit left to right down this par 4. 275 off the tee, leaves around 130 to the front. That's what he'll be looking for today. And that's a decent effort there. Let's take a look at the slow-mo. Yeah, nicely controlled swing. Now Jones needs to get back on the level. Looks like he's out with a driver. Aggressive line down the right side of this fairway. And he's paid the price for that aggression by the look of it. All just starting to unravel. And here is the aerial view. Water down the left, not really in play for the guys. 275 off the tee to the corner, leaves about 130 to the front of this green. You can see the trees and the hazard down the right side of this fairway. Turn the corner, up the hill, plays about 6 or 8 yards up to the front of this green. It's a pretty easy pin position if it's on that bottom level, but up on the top level today, it's pretty treacherous.
We are here with Nick's tee shot on 16. He's found the fairway. It seemed like quite a tentative tee shot, but he's all clear. He's got 184 uphill. The breeze is slightly into. There's trouble short. He's going to want to just land it past this flag and give himself a chance for a 2-putt, hopefully taking that 3-shot lead into the final 2 holes.
Well, it definitely will be a longer shot in than he would have hoped for. Perhaps didn't quite get the strike from the tee. Testing iron shot. Small target when you're playing up the hill here, and he's just dragged that one a little left. Looks like there's a little bit of room there. You can see the ball fractionally above the feet. Turned it right to left.
Now this 18th is going to be one of the toughest holes on the entire EuroPro Tour in 2022.
Right shot.
If you make a par here, which Ryan Brooks could now do, that is invaluable.
Yeah, it's a very, very difficult hole. A beautiful golf hole, but very, very difficult. Now Gill, here at 17. Just coming out of the light rough. Skirting with the front bunker, releasing on now down the breeze. Steady on. That's a decent effort from there.
Sadly, though, it's all coming apart for Ben Jones. This is 4th.
Yeah, below the level of the green. Needs to find a decent shot here. And he's done it. Chance to save. Just a bogey. But it's all unravelled. Back-to-back bogeys, and then perhaps changing the game plan and going with the driver off the tee wasn't the option. Now here's Thurlaway, the closing hole.
This week, there have been an average of 6 birdies a day on that hole, and Thurlaway not adding to the tally.
Poppleton has avoided real danger in amongst the trees, but he's stumbling on that one. Just came out very, very soft on him.
Brooks Remember the hole out on the penultimate hole? And then a really good 4 at 18. Another solid effort from the man from Whittington Heath in Lichfield. I reckon he's going to improve 1 place in the order of merit up to 4th.
Cheers, mate. And Thurlaway tidying up, strong finish as well. All pars, no drops there on the last 6 holes.
Good finish. Cheers, boss.
Back to Poppleton at 16. This for a par. And just look at the swing on this, setting it off way to the right, feeding down. Not a putt he could be aggressive with. But again, he's going to have work to do just to drop 1 shot.
And unbeknownst to Bailey Gill, up ahead, this could be immense. Oh, not quite enough juice. He read that nicely, but it ran out of pace.
Yeah, unbeknownst to him, that was a golden opportunity.
Not very often you can make up ground with a bogey, but that might be the case for Jones here. Gutsy.
Yeah, that's a great up and down. Now can Poppleton just tidy this one up? No, he can't. Well, that's the first shortish putt we've seen him miss today.
Poppleton, previously master of the 16th, falls victim to it, reducing his lead to just a single stroke from Gill, who's about to grapple with the fearsome closing hole. Its perils described by Kit.
What a finishing hole this is, the 18th. A great view back down it there, but it is a brute. 450 yards and all uphill for the second shot. You can see the little bridge, the red stakes. There's a little stream that meanders its way across the fairway, and it's diagonal as well, which makes it tricky. If you go down the left, you've only got about 220 yards to reach that water. If you squeeze it a bit further right, you can have up to 260, 270 yards if you're really brave. And you would be rewarded for that because you want as little club in here as possible. But whatever, it's playing long, uphill. You've got a false front on the green. So easy to just come up a touch short and have it dribbling back down off the front, and then you're chipping back up. It's a brutal finishing hole. If you need 4 to win the tournament, if you manage to make your par, you know you have earned that trophy. Whatever happens, we are going to see loads of drama here as this tournament comes to a close.
Yes, Kit. Dave Thomas, the course designer here, did a wonderful job on 18.
Gill on the tee. That was something like a 2-iron. Just trying to sting it up there about 250. Centre of the fairway. Yeah, good job.
Poppleton's just found the first cut of rough down the right-hand side of the fairway, 130 yards exactly into that pin. There's not a lot of room over that deep bunker as well. You do not want to be going in there, and it's a tricky shot because he's off quite a steep downslope. That's going to make it want to launch a little bit lower, and the green is ever so slightly above us, so it's going to come in shallower than it normally would, and he'll have to factor those things into the shot selection as well. And if you just come over here, Coco, we've got Ben Jones's ball right here, similar proposition, but he's in the fairway and a slightly nicer angle as well. These are the moments that are going to decide this championship.
You're unsighted off the 17th tee here. Every time you land on grass, you're relieved. There have been 11 triple bogeys or worse on this hole this week.
Well, that looked like full commitment with the wedge from Poppleton. And he's just avoided the bunker on the right. The pin is tucked away there, so close to the edge of the green. Now Ben Jones, prime position on the fairway, as Kit said. He can really attack this pin. Coming off the 3 bogeys, he needs something. Spin now. Well, just edged it off the green. The mistake there was being right of the pin. Got to be left side of that pin to spin back down.
a birdie on 18 would really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But a birdie here is like half an eagle.
Well, I'm not quite sure what happened there. He seems to have got away with it to a point, but that may just catch the front bunker. Jones now out with a putter just up against the collar to make it even more difficult. Up the hill and then down the hill. Yeah, he judged that well. Touch more pace and he may have had that one. After 3 bogeys, the par will feel pretty good.
Yes, a regulation 4 for Gill on 18 would also feel good. Short of the sand. And short of the hole.
Yeah, slow up the hill there. Tough to get it all the way back. But he's given himself a chance of the par now. Poppleton. Again, putter from the fringe. This for birdie. Just bobbled on him. But a pretty safe play from there. You could see that one just bobbling through the fringe a little bit. Would have been an awkward one to chip. Now here's Gill. Must make this to have any chance. Oh. Well, it looked a good effort. It just hung out on the lip.
Absolutely no way.
And that will be a very disappointing drop at the last.
That makes Poppleton's life just a little easier. If ever there was a hole where breathing space is manna from heaven, the 18th on the hunting course fits the bill. Poppleton might be cautious and conservative, but he won't be complacent.
No, absolutely not. Now here's Jones. Out with the long iron. Looking for it to come a little bit left. He's just leaked it down the right edge of the fairway. It's okay, but he will have to shape it around the tall trees to reach this green.
Quite simply one of the biggest tee shots of Poppleton's professional career.
Looks like he's trying to just play a controlled punch shot with that fairway metal. And he's made a great job of it. That really is a stellar effort to find the fairway under the circumstances. Beautiful swing.
Poppleton's found the left-hand side of this 18th fairway, but he's got 215 yards to the pin. It's all uphill, and this wind is just starting to kick up in his face as well. It's a 2-shot lead. Gill is in the clubhouse. Ben Jones just over there, also in the fairway. Him making a birdie's not beyond the realms of possibility. He's got to play aggressively and go for it. Or does he just err on the side of caution and lay up a little short? Well, these are the decisions that will define how this championship ends and whether Nick Poppleton ends the day with a trophy.
Huge shot here for Jones, and this shot will actually determine what Poppleton does on his, quite possibly. You can see high cut required. Looks like he's overcooked it a little bit. Well, unlucky with a kick off the back of the bunker, but that is a definite birdie opportunity. Pressure firmly on Poppleton now. Gripping down on the fairway wood, trying to get it up around the green, I would suspect. And that's a miscue. Looked like he got it a little bit heavy. He's not in any trouble, but the pressure is on.
He's played a supporting role all day, Chris McLean. That swing had a lot more freedom than Poppleton's. Oh, and what a terrific effort that was.
Yeah, 2 of the best shots all day from this final group. And the crowd are there to see the excitement now. Poppleton, straightforward shot, about 40, 50 yards. Can he judge it? Up the tier, bit of spin. That's a great effort. Very, very well done.
And one very interested spectator happens to be Bailey Gill. Yeah, there he is, wondering what might have been had the putt on the last dropped.
Absolutely. Now Jones has to make this. Through the fringe, little left to right, and it's just moved a bit more than he expected. Clean now. Can he close out with a birdie 3? Finish on 8 under for the tournament. Slippery one. Oh, he can. That is superb.
That was gold dust, and he claims 6th alone.
Yeah, it was a tough day. He battled hard right to the end. But here is the champion-elect, Poppleton. Touch of left to right for his par save. Oh, it stayed straight on him. Nevertheless, a bogey finish is good enough.
It was quite a round, understandably nervous towards the end, but a 68 nevertheless.
A tough finish, but a worthy champion. Now Jones just trying to clean up. It's been a tough day for him, this back 9. And it continues. That's a bogey finish as well for Jones. Knocking on the door once again, but not enough.
Runner-up at Harleford, ditto at Donington Grove, and now Jones has to settle for 3rd here as Poppleton celebrates. It was a cracking day's golf that lacked for nothing. Thrills, spills, abundant drama, and in the end, a very popular success story authored by a delighted Nick Poppleton.
Cheers, mate.
Congratulations.
Cheers,
your first ever EuroPro Tour victory. Tell us, how does that feel?
Yeah, it's good. It's been a while since I've last been in contention, so to shuffle one over the line barely is great, isn't it? But yeah, to give, Jesus, what a goal from Ben. Ben played great. Front and I both played great. It was a good scrap, proper dogfight early on, and I hope it makes some good viewing anyway.
Oh, it certainly will. You were trading punches, as you say. The standard of golf out there, especially on that front line, was sensational. What was it like being in that moment and being part of it?
Yeah, it was a little bit quiet on 14 when it went in. We were walking up there like, oh, it must be like close-ish. Just absolute silence from Kit. But yeah, no, it was good. That's what you want in a tournament. You want to push each other, and Ben's an amazing golfer, and as you can see by the order of merit, he's up there constantly. So he'll have his time, his day will come, and at the end of the day, if he keeps playing golf like that, he won't be on here for a long time. So it's just nice to see, and it brings out the best in both of us rather than us kind of going backwards.
I definitely clapped when that went in on 14.
Yeah,
it was a sensational shot. It sounds obvious, but how important was that moment in this outcome?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I thought Bailey Gill was going to have that one when he told me to hold it on 8. I thought, well, that's the nudge you need sort of in tournament play to sort of just keep you going and just get one up on everybody else. But so to get mine was, it was pretty good.
How aware were you of the situation over those closing few holes?
I wasn't really aware, like 16, 17, and then someone told me I got 2 for it down 18, so I was like, well, just shovel it up there, shovel it on the green, and then Ben hit that cut one round the corner. I was like, oh God, that was a bit of a special golf shot from where he was. Just down the right-hand side at Slavey on 18, you cannot get, you do well to get at most of the green, you know, and the wind's off the right, and you've got to cut this thing around a big tree, and there's hazards everywhere. So that was an unbelievable golf shot, and I don't think it'll give it the credit it's due on the cameras, because it wasn't very nice.
It is an incredibly tough finishing hole. Even 2 shots is not comfortable. So what's going through your mind as you're playing it, and how pleased are you to get the job done?
Just shovel it on line. Like, you know, you can short game it up and down for bogeys, so you'd be fine. And then, you know, when I've got that little 40-yard pitch, I'm thinking as long as you hit it inside bends, you'll know what you need to do for your next one. And then, yeah, you gave it a good run at it, and you know what you need to do. You can just lag it down there then.
And who at home would you like to say thank you to or send a message to?
Oh yeah, well, obviously the missus and the dog, but the family are actually in America at the moment. They've just flown to Florida a couple of days ago to go to Disneyland, so they probably might be just waking up now. So they'll probably figure it out sort of at like 7 in the morning over breakfast, so that'd be nice for them.
Hopefully they get straight on the app and have a little bit of champagne with that breakfast to celebrate.
I'm not paying for that, not their prices. But yeah, no, they'll enjoy themselves. I'm sure I'll enjoy the day at Disneyland, spending all the retirement fun day.
Brilliant performance
Cheers,
today,
mate.
Nick. Well
Appreciate
played.
it. Thanks, man.
Poppleton collects £12,500 and experiences the satisfaction of becoming a EuroPro Tour winner with a 5-star performance at the QHotels Collection Championship. Dermot McIlroy remains top of the updated Order of Merit. Brooks moves deeper into the promotion zone, but it's Poppleton who makes the biggest leap, up 46 places to 10th. Next time it's Manning's Heath, where Poppleton will surely have his sights set on a double. For now though, from Slaley Hall, a classic venue that produced a classic, it's goodbye.